Zimbabweans in South Africa are breathing a sigh of relief, or at least a small sigh of relief. Home Affairs has once again extended the Zimbabwean Exemption Permits, and the permits were due to expire at the end of this month, but are now valid until the 31st of December. So let's get some reaction to this. I'm joined by Simba Chitando from the Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association this morning. And Simba, thank you for speaking to me about this. Let's talk about this decision by the Home Affairs Department. Did it come as a surprise or not? Because it seems that it has now been extended for at least the next 6 months.
I'm not surprised. Greetings to your audience. I'm not surprised. This is the third extension by the minister. It speaks to the fact that the initial decision was ill-conceived and impractical, and we told him that at that stage it was impractical, unfair, unreasonable, in our view, unconstitutional and unlawful. And that's the reason why we are challenging that decision. We knew that the minister could not deal with the backlog that existed even before he made the decisions that he had made. And unfortunately, what this has done is simply kick the can down the road and added to the anxiety for Zimbabweans. We are happy at least that the deadline, which was looming in the next 2 weeks, would have caused a lot of pandemonium in the country. Would have caused a lot of trouble. But we are relieved that it has been averted. But the problem, the initial problem, has not gone away. It's still and the matter is still before the court.
Right. And what kind of problems were you projecting, or do you project they would have caused exactly?
Well, the problems that the decision caused is across the board. We're looking at the uncertainty of the ZEP holders' children who are in schools. It was only in January when we got a court order that would allow the children of ZEP holders to register for matric, to write the exams this year. Many schools were turning them away because of the uncertainty of the parents being ZEP holders with permits expiring in June, before the matric exams. We have employers not knowing whether their staff would be legal in the country. All the restaurants, all the schools that employ Zimbabweans, all the companies, the farmers, they didn't know if they would have their Zimbabwean staff at harvest in case of the farmers, or the banks did not know if they're going to potentially lose their ZEP clients at the end of June. So this uncertainty has been immediately it has been pushed back until December, but it has not gone away. We still do not what the rights of ZEP holders until obviously the court comes to a decision on this issue.
And it seems it wasn't just yourselves as the association challenging this. I mean, if the minister is talking of approximately, 1,000 to 1,500 passport, visa and waiver applications being processed daily, you could see that even, people on the ground have been, resisting this deadline because of those complexities that you express now.
Yes, the minister did mention a number of 500,000 individuals, but that's not enough that are being processed. We're looking at over 178,000 people. And in our view, those are, according to the minister, those are just waiver applications. What a waiver does is give the right of a ZEP holder to apply for another visa or permit. So that doesn't really deal with the issue, doesn't deal with the problem. It's just simply putting the problem back. And the reason, in our view, is that the minister is trying to avoid a situation where the ZEP holders apply for permanent residence status in the country, which is why he's had to follow the route that he's following, and the route that we are challenging. It doesn't deal with the problem. It just as I said, kicks the can down the road. And yeah.
So, Simba, what do you think it would
stuck.
take then to deal with the problem as opposed to having more of a cosmetic solution to it, putting a Band-Aid to it? In the next 6 months, the same issues will still be arising for the Home Affairs Department. What do you think it would then take to resolve this issue?
In my view, and it's the view of many, the minister should allow ZEP holders an opportunity to make one application for permanent resident status in the country. That would deal with the problem. It would prevent all of this anxiety. It would prevent the back and forth in courts. And it is the right thing to do, because after more than 10 years in the country, ZEP holders are entitled, ought to be entitled to apply to be here permanently, and that will solve the problem, in my view. It will alleviate a lot of suffering, and it will give ZEP holders children, it will give the employers, it will give the financial services institutions, it will give the public certainty, and we can just put a line underneath this whole ZEP issue, which has gone on. This saga has gone on for years now. The extensions there've been so many extensions, and I have to mention that in the extension that was made I think on the 2nd of September that brought it to June, the minister said that that's the last extension. And I anticipate at the end of this year, the minister will be saying, I'm going to give another extension. And with all of these extensions, what is happening is that the extensions themselves have become a pseudo permit, which is not the right thing. We don't know what the rights are of many people. So I think this has to come to an end. The minister should allow holders to apply for permanent residency.
All right. Well, we leave it then. I appreciate you speaking to me about this. Right, your news like Simba Chitando from the Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association for us right here on eNCA.